Athletics. Mike is standing by with the voice. Here's Mike.
Thanks, Gary. Each week I have the enviable task of interviewing remarkable guests, and this one might be the top of the heap as I have the golden voice for 50 years of Lafayette Athletics, Jim Finnen. Jim, welcome to the Halftime Show. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to see you.
Let's talk a little bit about you and your wife, Bea, are active in this community. You're always at a lot of events. Why do you come back? Why do you just kind of continue to bless us with your ability to be here?
I guess the answer is the same when I came up before. At that time, I had a job to do. I'm still rooting for the Leopards the same as I did before. I like to think that it was impartial in my microphone days, but otherwise, I've been a Leopard fan for a long time, and they're a lot of fun to be at.
Aren't they a lot of fun? Exactly. We have some good teams, a good basketball team we have right here, good basketball game. And you have obviously become an actor now, I hear, with this film documentary about the voice of Lafayette Athletics. Tell me a little bit about that and how that came about.
Well, there are two great young people who are good filmmakers, Steve and his partner, and they started in the year 2015, during the year that I was retiring, and just taking some shots, running some footage. And it all developed over the next 3 or 4 years into a 12-minute, 36-second, I think is the time, documentary. Somebody said the other day, am I the star of the show? I said, no, I'm not the star of the show. I'm the subject of the show. The star of the show are these two young people who are up-and-coming filmmakers, and they happen to choose the Dumb Irishman as the subject.
Well, they actually chose a great subject here, and it's an opportunity for you. Do they have any, maybe some things, ambitions with this film to move on, maybe at a different level?
I gather every filmmaker would like to start his career and gradually develop it over the years until it becomes better and more proficient.
Well, we have the opportunity next week to preview that up at the Fenning Hall. Going to have an opportunity to get there and see that. Tell me a little bit about your experience here at Lafayette and some of the games you might have called. Do you have like a special game that you remember? You got fans everywhere. A game that you remember that may have just kind of recall. Obviously, Lafayette Lehigh always big on the football field, and the chances we had to play Army, we're playing today up at Michie Stadium as well.
Let me tell you one thing. Speaking of Michie Stadium, I worked at Michie Stadium when I was in grammar school, selling hot dogs in the 40s, literally. Wow. I was born and raised in a small town right next to West Point. We worked at Michie Stadium when Jock Blanchard and Glenn Davis were running on the gridiron, selling hot dogs. But getting back to Lafayette, the games just popped to mind automatically. January 22nd of 1988, basketball, when Digger Phelps came here.
My senior year, unbelievable.
And Lafayette sent them home with a victory when Otis Ellis had 35 points. You remember, everybody remembers that one.
Unbelievable.
Football, 150 games. What more can I say? Yankee Stadium, 48,256 people.
My goodness. There was a time where people thought we couldn't fill that stadium for that game, but obviously a pleasure with you. And just before we get out of here, Jim, give me one more. I'm a little selfish here. It's been 30 years, but one more, maybe Mike Joseph on the tackle.
Lafayette tackle, number 67, Mike Joseph.
Guys, gives me chills. Back to you.
Well, he made that up, of course. He didn't have the right number. 67 probably made the tackle. All right, great interview. You could go on and on with Jim Finnen stories, no question about it.